What's up, guys? We are finally here. We're going to be talking about finally Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, if you guys have not played the game, I do recommend you guys click off the video, or if you guys don't mind being spoiled on some spoilers, I do recommend again click off the video and stick around if you guys want to hear some spoilers in my personal review of the game. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, there are so many videos on Assassin's Creed Valhalla right now, whether it be to help you find something. Now, grant the entire time I played this game, I had to look up a couple videos whether to find something or how to get into an area, or hopefully to make the right choice, because in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, throughout the story, again, it is centered around Avar, who is a you can play as male or female. I chose male, just because that's what I preferred to play. That way, from what it looked like. But either way, I may go back and play female. But either way, the whole entire story is pretty much where your parents, Avar's parents, was killed during a raid of a rival clan. He saw his father and mother killed right before his eyes, and he later gets taken in by Sigurd, who is like a brother to him, as well as his father, who was part of the clan that they were combined with when the attack happened. And then later on through the story, we get introduced to Basim and Hytham, who are assassins from Constantinople, possibly more. Then we get to later figure out that they are hunting different people that are involved in basically Ivor's revenge against what happened to him. And we also get to see how Ivor and we see Sigurd, who later kind of becomes allies with the assassins. But we only get to see two assassins. Within this world. Hytham pretty much becomes like, I want to say Hytham really reminded me of the character from the very first Assassin's Creed game, and I can't remember his name offhand. He was the one that Altair was friends with, but I think he lost his arm, and that he kept going to him, for missions, and I can't remember his name offhand. But either way, again, that's who he reminded me of, because it's pretty much the same thing. What we got to see, it was Malik. That's who it was. He reminded me of Malik, and the way that their robes were really did remind me of Altair from, of course, Assassin's Creed 1. And we get to see where Sigurd and Ivor basically come to Norway, to England, to make a settlement. And throughout the story, you build your settlement by raiding, which I did enjoy, but the raiding did kind of get old because it kind of was repetitive a little bit. The gameplay overall, which I'll get into a little bit later, you can upgrade your settlement throughout the entirety of the story. There are different levels, so to speak, where basically it's saying suggested level 60 or 160, because the way your character levels is as soon as you level up with points, we're making your character where they're able to use a bow and arrow better, or range, or melee attacks, or strong attacks, or being able to do special attacks is how you upgrade your character throughout the entirety of the story. And we get to see where you are able to upgrade your settlement. You are able to improve your settlement, such as your long ships, your tattoo area, to change your hairstyle, your beard, whatever it is, your food, your longhouse, as well as also where your shaman is, as well as your horse stables, also where your bakery is, where you find other characters that you can invite on for raids. So it's pretty cool. You can really do a lot in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I was really shocked that they were able to bring this much and how good it looked from the Viking look. Now, I will say this: they did take I think a very big amount of inspiration from Last Kingdom, as well as also Vikings as well, and doing a lot of research about the characters, because we did get to see a lot of characters that were familiar, such as King Alfred being one of them, which, again, I was kind of hoping you'd be able to kill Alfred, because, again, what we later find out. But, again, you have to go by historical standpoint. Now, I will say this, that I think one of the coolest things about in Assassin's Creed Valhalla was being able to have more consequences than you did have, again, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because where you are trying to make alliances to make a alliance with said characters, such as other earls, other kings, other princes, to make more territories, because you will have to call upon them at some point to help, again, with a certain event that I will get into here in a minute. But we do get to see more of why the Templar / Order of the Ancients are the way they are, how they pretty much are formed. Same thing with the Assassins. At some given point in time, we do get to figure that out within Assassin's Creed Valhalla, as well as also it's more of, I want to say 3/4 of the game is Viking, and then I want to say the other, that like I want to say maybe 30 or 40% is Assassin's Creed, because again, I love Viking era so much, and this is, I think that's the reason why I love this game. But at the same time, it got a little repetitive on some of the things, where it has hidden dialogue where you can go into and try to hunt down all the older ancients, which you get another ending. Same thing if you take this some type of potion or ritual, where you go into this phase of basically reliving what Odin happened with Odin, Thor, Freya, and in duration of this entire story, you have where Eivor is talking to Odin, and basically does get revealed that Odin was one of the very first ancient ones, not the ancient ones, but the first civilization that we got to see for so long, the Ish, or the Ishtar, or whatever you want to prefer, or the ancient ones, and so was others. And we later get to figure out that other characters were the re-embodiment or the reincarnation of these characters, such as Eivor was the reincarnation of Odin, which later does get revealed, because when I finally got through the game, I'm going, okay, what exactly, because I didn't understand what exactly went on. Like Basim, why did Basim betray you? Because Basim later reveals to betray you because he wants to free the ancient ones, or not the ancient ones, but the first civilization for his own benefits, which we don't later get on. And he gets into this ancient machine, which later he does get into, which is sort of like the Animus, and he later gathers all this information at the very end of the game. We have where, again, with the main president of the story, I'll get into a little later, but you do where, depending on your choices throughout the game, where you do fight certain characters, or you make certain alliances with characters, or who needs to die, or who do you think needs to die, or who needs to live. It does reflect on your choices a little later on through the game. Not heavily, but I would say to a certain degree, if that makes any sense. Because, like, for example, where if you want to kill one character, you may need that character later on for a siege, or for another alliance, or to, hey, you know, Eivor helped me with this, or he helped clear out this area, because you do get awards when you do clear out an Order of the Ancients in certain cities. You're able to go on to the alliance mouth with Ranvi, who is another character who is the wife of Sigurd, who can be a possible love interest, which I'll get to here in a minute, and she does help with making the alliances, because you have to come back every time and inform her whether you made an alliance or not. And when I say on the love interests, it does not matter whether you play as male or female Eivor. You can have pretty much any love interest in this game. It just depends on who allows you to be a love interest. It also just depends on, also, because it does get repetitive to be the same thing, just depends on who you get with, and also where it will later on end, because it pretty much just get repetitive, because you can either kiss them, you can go to bed with them, or you can break up with them and try to get with somebody else. Now there was, I think, 2 times where my character got with Ranvi, and then got with one other character, and then that was it. And that was pretty much like, I'm like, okay, you know, you can probably get away with, you know, cheating if you wanted to cheat or whatever with whoever character you're with. And again, the customization, they went a lot further on than they did in Odyssey. And again, this did kind of remind me of Odyssey a little bit, but I actually enjoyed this a lot more than Odyssey. I hated Odyssey, I will say that again. Odyssey was complete trash. I did not like the story, I did not like the setting. The setting I did not mind, but I thought it was going to be better than what we originally got. Now this, I did enjoy the story of the Viking era with Eivor. I found Eivor to be, I want to say, a mix between Ezio, Edward, and I want to say a little bit of Altair, all in one. That is my own personal opinion, because Eivor came across as very, you could have him be very loyal, very honorable, very cutthroat, but he was all that mixed into one. And all he really wanted was to have a family and then get revenge on what happened to his family and build something better with his brother, with his clan. And that's pretty much what he was doing. And we get to see that, but we don't know necessarily how he really died. We don't know necessarily how Eivor really died. We don't know because again, Layla in the real world, we get to see where her, Sean, and the others of the past Assassin's Creed events, they are in North America. They find his grave, and that's pretty much how they are able to find more memories. And when they find that the entrance that Desmond awoke all those years ago, where the radiation has been building for about 12 years and it's about ready to explode, and she goes down there with the staff of Hermes, and she gets into the same device as Basim did, and she later sees Basim, and then she later gets to see a character by the name of Reader, who is actually Desmond, who is trying to find ways to stop the catastrophe from happening again. And they come up with an idea like, okay, what if we came up where Desmond let it happen back then, and we try to have it not happen this time? And so that's a possibility, and it may take Layla years for this to happen. So she tells Sean and Rebecca that, but somehow or other, Basim does get out, takes a hold of the staff of Hermes, since Layla does no longer have it, and he's able to go back to his further consciousness, and he basically shows that he does know his past memories, and he's also trying to get one of the ones out as well for his own agenda, who later comes across that he says that he's an assassin like Rebecca and Sean is, and he basically says that he wants to meet William Miles in person, and also he goes to Ivor's grave, as well as also wants to relive through Ivor's memories so he can learn more than what he did when he did so-called die. So overall, story-wise, I did enjoy it. I think it was a little where we didn't get to know a lot about the assassins. We got to learn more, I think, about more of the Order of the Ancients rather than the assassins at this period in time. I was hoping for a little bit more of... I was hoping for a little bit more certain characters that we didn't get to see. Some of the characters got to be annoying. Some of the characters, I believe, were okay. Again, I did enjoy Ivor Sigurd to a certain degree. Ranvi I enjoyed. Dag was very annoying until you killed him. Now, again, there are characters you can either say you can deny them to go to Valhalla if you want to, or you can allow them to go to Valhalla, which, again, will help you with your choices. Also pretty much building the settlement, acting as Earl while in Sigurd's absence, which later you can become Earl, whether Sigurd is there or not, depending on your choices as well. Also with the present day, I'm not really a fan of the present day story anymore. I prefer the back then story, because that's pretty much what's keeping me in Assassin's Creed right now, is basically what time period we're going to be in, as well as also what exactly we may be doing with Assassin's Creed at this point in time. We don't know if it could be another, because honestly, I like to know exactly what happened with Eivor. If we can continue somehow with Eivor, of how he passed away, or another character of how these characters passed away, and have it all in one game, then I think that'd be a lot more satisfying than going, okay, how did he die? Because we really don't know how other characters died. We really don't know. They pretty much just go, okay, we know how Ezio died, we know how Altair died, but all the other characters, we really don't know who died. We don't know how Eivor died. We don't know how Shay died. We don't know how Connor died. We don't know how Edward really died, other than from in the comics or in the books. Same thing that we've been seeing within the last 10 years of Assassin's Creed. So again, I like to know what exactly happened to Eivor, as well as also the clan and everything of that nature, because I really do like how the connection, and this is really cool, I really do like the connection that they gave AC3 to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because they really gave us the building of the settlement, which really reminded me of Assassin's Creed. And there's a scene where you can go to North America, and you basically meet, I would assume, is ancestors of Connor, who we later get to see, one of the pieces of Eden, where Eivor does see that, and he gives it to the native people, and he tells them stories about his culture, and they tell him stories, and he doesn't understand the language, and neither does he, but they're able to kind of understand what it is through, sign language, as well as also just through his, his body language. So it's really interesting of all the stuff that they put into this game, where they kind of mix, I want to say, AC1, AC3, AC4, and a little bit of Odyssey and Origins too. Now, again, the way Assassin's Creed is now for gameplay, I really don't think it's going to change, because if it's going to be in the last 3 games, I don't think it's going to change, not unless they want to try something else, which I don't think is going to happen. I think they got a little too friendly with the gameplay, with the way it is now. Again, if they want to have it like that, that's perfectly fine. Again, I don't think that the gameplay is going to change. Kind of hope that it does, and kind of hope it doesn't. I'm happy that with the Viking culture with the way of the Norse culture. I'm very happy that they did that to a very certain degree. Some of the characters I was kind of shocked that they brought in, such as Ivor the Boneless, King Alfred, as well as also Uba, Ragnar's son, as well as also some of the other characters that we never really got to see within possibly other shows or real life history. So either way, I did enjoy the game. It took a very long time to complete the game. I still am going to do side quests and everything of that nature. Now there are other missions and quests you can do, and that will take longer, which I understand. I have no problem doing that, but I wanted to get through the story first. So overall, I did enjoy it. I'd have to give this. I want to say I give Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 due to, again, very lack of information on the assassins, as well as also why Basm really did what he did to the very last minute, because there was hints of it but didn't know to the last minute, as well as also with the main current timeline of the story was kind of I didn't really care for it too much. I thought it was very not the best, but at the same time I thought it could have been a little bit better. So there's a lot more that I could say within this game and more of the story, but again, it'd probably be a much longer video, and we're already going on possibly close over 15 minutes, so I didn't expect it to be this long. So whether you guys enjoyed it or not, I'd like to know your thoughts about it in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, always consider about commenting, as well as also talking about the game. If you guys liked it, that's great. If not, that's great. Either way, guys, you know, we're all Assassin's Creed fans at the end of the day. If you liked it, that's fine. If you hated it, that's cool. If you loved it, that's cool too. But either way, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. And as always, leave a big fat like on the video. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me beat the algorithm, as well as also subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. More Assassin's Creed videos gonna possibly be coming up, as well as also more other videos. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk soon.